So we're back here on the Duncan Duo Show. You've seen the shows on HGTV. You've watched Fix or Flip. You've watched, all the real estate celebrities, the Property Brothers, Chip and Joanna. You've seen them flip houses, right? Well, I can tell you that when you watch it on TV, it looks sunshine and rainbows. It looks amazing. And the reality is that the people that do well with it run it like a business and have a lot of experience doing it. For example, you've probably heard or seen our ads about how we'll give you an instant cash offer for your house. We'll buy it, we'll offer what the same that, the national hedge fund home buyers you hear all over the radio, that'll give you an offer for your home, and so we'll do the same thing. And we'll match or beat them, and we can do things that they can't do. But just like we've gone through, lots and lots of them to figure out what works, what doesn't work, and made some mistakes. If you're thinking about doing it on your own, first off, you have to know that you're going to have a lot of competition. If you decide to become a home flipper, know that you're competing with Wall Street and companies that have billions of dollars and spend a lot of money advertising, just like us. So you're going to have to compete with, most people are going to get offers from other companies. And fortunately, because of our buying power, we're able to leverage the relationships with contractors, get better deals, get better prices. So it's going to be harder than you think. But let's say that you get past that and you say, you know what, I'm going to do it. Step number one when you flip a house is making sure not to hang on to it for too long. Angela runs the books on all of our investment properties, and Angela can tell you that the longer you hold it, the more it's going to cost you, right?
Yeah, unless you're doing it for specific tax reasons past that year mark. You think about insurance and taxes and utilities, and a lot of people don't always factor that into their flip numbers. Yep, and it makes a big difference. So you're going to have holding costs. The longer you own it, the more your costs are going to increase. And then secondarily, the other thing that happens the longer you own it is the more risk you have. The more risk you have for an insurance claim, the more risk you have for a storm, the more risk you have that the market could shift, or that competitors could come on the market and undercut you. So you don't want to hold the property for ages. A 3 to 4 month period, I think, is really solid from the point in which you buy it until you finish it, because then you're still working within the same real estate market. The longer you own it, the more risk you have that the real estate market
I think that's kind of the point of the flip too,
yep.
Right? Is to get it and get rid of it.
Correct. Over renovating is another one. So that kind of contributes to the hold time. You have people that are doing it for their first time and they renovate it like they would live in it. And here's a problem with that. First off, nobody is going to buy a house and not going to want to do something to it. We just built our own custom house, and I have a laundry list of projects of things that I want to do at the house. So there's always going to be stuff people want to do. If you over renovate it, number one, you're increasing your costs. You're increasing your costs. You're increasing the time that you own it. There's just a whole litany of reasons, and then you're pushing that price up. So then it's going to be harder to sell. You've also got neighborhoods that you could over-renovate for the neighborhood and make your house look not desirable because it looks like the only house in the neighborhood that has all of those features.
That's what I'm saying.
You definitely don't want to over-renovate.
You could price yourself out of the market.
Absolutely. So you've got to be conscious of what is normal in that neighborhood and price range. You can't renovate it. I can't tell you how many soccer moms and part-time flipper dads I've dealt with that renovate a house, and they renovate it to the point in which they think they want to live in it and they want to make it perfect and turnkey and have everything perfect. And the problem with that is there's a lot of those things where you're not going to get dollar for dollar return on. You have to evaluate that and know what will actually get you a return, and pass on some of those items and say, you know what, that's not something, $5,000 to do that isn't going to get me more than $5,000 back. So you have to be conscious to not over renovate. Not having an emergency fund. So if you finance the flip, you're going to have monthly costs. If you're using hard money, you're going to have costs. And not having some money put away in case it takes you longer, or in case the construction budget comes in higher than estimated. Because guess what? It's going to.
I was going to say, it always
is
does.
going to. And so as a rule of thumb, in my mind, I always plan for 50% of whatever, 50% increase over what the budget lists. Now, usually it's less than that, but I want to plan for the worst. The other thing that happens is a contractor will tell you it's going to be done in 30 days. Mike, you ever had a contractor finish on time?
No.
Angela, have you ever had a contractor finish on time?
No, but we have had loans close on time.
We've had loans close on time. Thousands of home sales, and man, I mean, unless it's a really minor job, I literally can't remember the last time a contractor finished something on time. So whatever they tell you for time, plan on longer. That emergency fund comes in handy then because you've got more operating costs. You've got to continue making those payments. You've got to continue paying those bills. So you got to be prepared for that. And then pricing yourself out of the market. Every home seller, whether it's your first flip or your own primary residence, every home seller thinks their house is the best. They're proud of their house. They love their house. They put a lot of time, energy, and effort into their first flip, and they think they do it better than everyone else. And the problem is you think you do it better than somebody that does it for a living, and it's their full-time thing. So don't overprice it. I've made the mistake. You know, Angela can tell you, we've made mistakes sometimes on price where we've been a little bit over ambitious about a product that we renovated and flipped. But the reality is the longer you sit on the house, again, because you overpriced it, you know, the more expensive it gets and the more risk you have as to not making money or, in essence, losing money. So,
and depending on the price range too, what I've seen with some of the flippers is they'll put like the warranty information for like the appliances, or if they put a new AC or new roof, they'll put it in like a nice little packet and leave it inside the home so that when buyers are coming through and looking at it, they can see what actually has been done, and it helps them to feel better about that house.
Correct.